and get dressed, his fingers moving with surprising gentleness as he buttoned her blouse and straightened her skirt. On the other hand, was a complete mess. Her face was burning, her lips still tingling from his kisses, and every time their eyes met, she felt like she might combust. Jungkook smirked, clearly enjoying her flustered state. "You're too cute when you're shy, little wifey," he murmured, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear. In's blush deepened. "Stop calling me that," she mumbled, unable to meet his gaze. But Jungkook only chuckled and, without warning, scooped her up in his arms. "Jungkook," she gasped, wrapping her arms around his neck in surprise. Ignoring her protests, he carried her out of the secret room, down the private elevator, and into the parking lot. His grip was strong yet careful, as if she were the most precious thing in the world. When they reached his car, Jungkook opened the passenger door and gently placed her on the seat. In shifted slightly, but the moment she moved, a sharp sting shot through her, making her wince. Jungkook's smirk instantly disappeared. "Damn it." "I'm sorry," he said, his voice laced with guilt. Wyan shook her head, reaching for his hand. "It's okay. I want to go home," she said softly, offering him a reassuring smile. Jungkook sighed, caressing her cheek before shutting the door and moving to the driver's seat. As soon as he started the car, his free hand landed on her thigh, his thumb rubbing soft circles over the fabric of her skirt. In's eyes widened. "Jungkook," she tried to push his hand away, but his grip remained firm. "Don't, little wifey," he murmured, his deep, dangerous voice sending a shiver down her spine. Yn swallowed hard, her mind going wild. This is just like those dark romance books I read." Her face burned even more as she remembered all the steamy scenes she had imagined while reading. And now here she was, living one with Jungkook. Jungkook, sensing her thoughts, smirked as he continued massaging her thigh. "You're blushing again," he teased, stealing a glance at her. "What are you thinking about, Yn quickly turned her head towards the window, refusing to answer. Jungkook let out a low chuckle, clearly amused. "You're too easy to read, little wifey. I bet you're thinking something very interesting right now." In groaned, covering her face with her hands. "God, why did I fall for this man?" Jungkook just smiled, gripping her thigh a little tighter as he continued driving home, completely satisfied with her reaction. That night, after freshening up, Yn and Jungkook had dinner together. And like before, the air between them was lighter, more comfortable. Jungkook would glance at her every now and then, watching how she pouted slightly while eating, how her cheeks puffed when she chewed. It made him want to kiss her all over again. After dinner, Yn stretched her arms. "I'm so full," she sighed. Jungkook smirked, wiping his mouth with a napkin. "Then sleep. You're not going anywhere tonight." Yn blinked at him. "You mean we're sleeping together again?" Jungkook raised a brow. "Of course, you think I'll let you sleep alone after today?" In's face burned. Without another word, she went to his room and Jungkook followed, wrapping an arm around her waist, not pulling her close. "Sleep, little wifey," he murmured against her hair. Inside, feeling safe in his warmth, and slowly drifted off. The next morning, Jungkook woke up first. His gaze immediately landed on Yn, who was still curled up against him, sleeping peacefully. He watched her for a long moment, admiring how beautiful she looked in the morning light. A small smile tugged at his lips as he brushed her hair out of her face. Reluctantly, he got out of bed and got ready for work. Today, he had an important meeting, and he needed to be fully prepared. Before leaving, he decided to do something different. Instead of letting the maids prepare breakfast, he did it himself. It was simple toast, scrambled eggs, and fresh juice, but he made sure everything was perfect. After setting the plate on the table, he grabbed a sticky note and scribbled a quick message before placing it on the bedside table. "Sleep well, little wifey. Eat properly. Don't come to the office today. I'll be back soon." Before leaving, he leaned down and pressed a soft kiss to her forehead, lingering for a second before finally pulling away. Then he walked out of the house, ready to deal with the outside world. In woke up late, stretching lazily before noticing the sticky note beside her. She picked it up, reading Jungkook's message, and couldn't help but smile. He's so sweet in his own way. After freshening up, she went to the dining table and saw the breakfast he had prepared for her. Her heart warmed at the thought of Jungkook cooking just for her. She ate happily, humming a soft tune to herself. Today, she was in a good mood. She didn't want anything to ruin it. That's why, when her phone started ringing and she saw her stepmother's name on the screen, she didn't answer. She knew her stepmother would only say things to ruin her happiness. Instead, she switched off her phone and focused on enjoying her day. Meanwhile, in his office, Jungkook was watching her through the CCTV cameras he had installed at home. He saw the way she smiled while eating, the way she ignored the call, the way she looked for something he hadn't seen in a long time. A dark smirk formed on his lips. "Your time is coming to an end, Mr. and Mrs. Lee. You hurt my wife. And I'm not going to spare you. Be ready." Time skip. And Jungkook had settled into their usual office routine, but now their dynamic had completely changed. The cold CEO was no longer just her intimidating boss, he was her husband. And to YN's surprise, he was way more romantic than she had ever imagined. At lunchtime, they shared a meal together, exchanging soft glances and teasing remarks. Afterward, YN decided to grab a coffee before heading back to work. That's when she ran into Hymin. Hymin looked at her with guilt, rubbing the back of his neck. "YN, I'm sorry." YN narrowed her eyes before smacking his arm repeatedly. "You betrayed me, you duffer. How could you sell me out like that?" "Ouch, YN, stop. I had no choice. He was going to kill me." Hymin whined dramatically, dodging her hits. "You're the worst," YN huffed, crossing her arms. Hymin suddenly smirked. "Well, even if I betrayed you, you still have to keep your promise." YN frowned. "What promise?" Hymin gasped, placing a hand on his chest as if deeply offended. "You promised to treat me at the most expensive restaurant in Seoul, and guess what? You're paying." In's jaw dropped. "Did I say that?" "Yes," Hymin grinned. "And I want my treat tonight." Inside, "Fine, but let me check my schedule first." "I'll text you later." She returned to her desk, still shaking her head at Hymin's antics. But the moment she sat down, she noticed Jungkook glaring at her. "Oh, why is he looking at me like that?" she mumbled, confused. Brushing off the intense stare, she checked her schedule and saw she had no meetings in the evening. She quickly texted Hymin, confirming their dinner plans. After work, Jungkook walked up to her. "Come with me," he said in his usual deep tone. In bit her lip. "I have some work. I'll come later." Jungkook didn't say anything. He simply nodded and dropped her off at the restaurant, watching as she disappeared inside. At the restaurant, Hymin and YN were having the time of their lives, or at least, Hymin was. He had ordered an insane amount of expensive dishes, completely indulging himself. In stared at the table full of food in horror. "How are you going to eat all this? You're going to make me beg on the streets." Hymin scoffed, waving his chopsticks. "Why are you worried? Your husband is filthy rich. It's not like you're broke." YN blushed at the mention of Jungkook and smacked Hymin's arm again. "Shut up and eat." They continued eating until the waiter brought the bill. YN reached for her purse, only to realize it wasn't there. Her heart sank. Oh no. She nervously turned to Hymin, who was still chewing on his food. "Hymin, my best friend."